Parents, Paw Patrol The Mighty Movie is coming to theaters on September 29th. When a magical meteor crash lands in Adventure City, it gives the Paw Patrol pups superpowers. Holy smokes. But things take a turn for the worse when Humdinger breaks out of jail to steal their superpowers. Oh dear. Will the mighty pups be able to save Adventure City before it's too late? Oh, mark your calendars to see Paw Patrol The Mighty Movie in theaters on September 29th. Hey friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. We are the podcast that turns your ideas into an amazing adventure every single day. You know, we couldn't even exist without imaginations from kids just like you. So if you have an idea for a story, I'd love to see it. Check down in the show notes below for how you can submit your own story idea, and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. And parents, if you're new to kids podcasting, I want to challenge you to listen to podcasting for 5 days in a row with your kids. It's going to increase their imagination, decrease screen time, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! Ezra! Come quick! There's a bad dragon over here! Shouted Oliver, bursting into the door of Ezra's office. You see, Ezra was the proud owner of Ezra's Dragon Training School, where he worked as the lead dragon trainer, and Oliver was his first dragon trainer in training. Wow, wouldn't that be so cool to work at a dragon training school? Okay, I'm coming, said Ezra. But remember, there are no bad dragons, just dragons in bad moods. Now tell me everything you know, Ezra said while he grabbed his flame-proof jacket and pants, putting them on. Well, I was walking on the trails in the forest, hoping to find some wish bears because I heard they appear sometimes, when the trees in front of me were burnt to a crumbly crisp. Then I heard loud stomping, so I hid behind a tree trunk. And a big, angry dragon torched his way across the trail. He was roaring like, "Roar! I'm a big bad dragon! I'm gonna explode the town!" So then I ran back here as fast as I could. Oliver sat down in a chair to catch his breath. Awesome job. Well, you stay here. I'll call if I need backup. Then Ezra headed out the door and into the town. Everything looked fine so far, but Ezra still had a couple blocks to go before he reached the woods. He tried not to alarm anyone with his presence, but that was hard to do when he was dressed like something between a knight and a firefighter walking down Main Street. Remember, he had to protect himself for those fiery, angry outbursts from a dragon in a bad mood. The grown-ups all slowed down their pace and stared at him, while kids in town had the opposite reaction. It's Ezra, the dragon tamer! Whoa, cool, a sword! By the time Ezra had passed through the middle of town, parents were pulling their children home and shop owners had closed their doors. They knew that if Ezra was in town, there must be a dragon in an angry mood. Ezra could see the woods now up in the distance. The crunching and crashing of trees was growing louder as the dragon stomped his very angry way towards the town. Ezra lowered his fireproof face shield and pulled out his sword as he crept closer. A blast of fire blew through the trees, burning the ones in its path, and the dragon announced himself with a ferocious roar that led any remaining shop owners to slam their doors and lock them at once. The dragon boom, boom, boom trampled through the remaining trees and spotted Ezra. Smoke swirled from its nostril holes, and it growled, "What do you think you're doing with that sword? I've come to explode your town, and you
can't stop me.
Ezra put the sword onto the ground carefully. Well, why do you want to burn my town? We've never even seen you before.
Ha! I want to explode your town because I can. Stop asking questions.
But Ezra didn't stop. Dragon, are you sad? The dragon scowled, shooting flames out of its nose holes, along with more smoke.
Sad? Dragons don't get sad. Dragons don't get sad when they are sleepy and their moms make them eat all their tree bark for breakfast, and when no one wants to be their friend and...
The dragon trailed off as his words turned into sobbing cries.
I'm a big angry dragon!
He threw himself down onto the ground in a tantrum, and it shook the world like an earthquake. Ezra carefully inched forward with his hands out in front of him until he got to the dragon's side. It's okay, dragon. But this was the wrong thing to say. The dragon stopped crying and quickly flew into the air.
No! You're just trying to make me leave. No one can stop me.
Then he took off running into the town. Oh dear. Time for plan B, said Ezra. He called Oliver and told him to start the backup plan. What is the backup plan? Ezra reached into his backpack and grabbed his launcher. Then he flipped the switch on his boots. Then the boots began to rumble and flames from the bottom lifting him up into the air. Ezra soared after the dragon with his jetpack boots. Whoa, jetpack boots! And caught up to him in no time. Stop! Dragon! Wait, stay away from my town! Roar! The dragon kept flying, whipping his tail at Ezra. Okay, dragon, you leave me no choice. Ezra aimed his launcher at the dragon's back. Blue! A watery bubble flew out and sucked the dragon inside. He was trapped inside of the bubble. The dragon tried to shoot flames out at the bubble, but it was no match for the walls of soapy water. The bubble floated down carefully to the ground and sat there with the dragon inside. Shop owners began opening their doors and kids ran up to the bubble dragon. The grown-ups were a little afraid, but they listened to Oliver when he told them about the plan. Hi, dragon. It's nice to meet you. The toy store owner approached the bubble and waved. A group of kids came up next, holding their dragon drawings. We love dragons. What's your name? What's your favorite color? The people of the town kept coming up to him and introducing themselves. The dragon was no longer trying to escape. Instead, he sat inside the bubble, very confused.
Why is everyone being nice to me?
The dragon grumbled. Because, dragon, we want to be your friend, answered Ezra.
My friend?
Yes, be our friend, shouted the kids. Instantly, the dragon's anger melted away. He didn't have to be angry or explode the town anymore, because back then he didn't have friends. He should be protecting this town because they were all his friends now. The dragon apologized to everyone and promised not to hurt their town. They let him out of the bubble, and everyone immediately launched into a celebration party. They had a barbecue, which, it was helpful to have a fire-breathing dragon to cook up all the delicious food, and danced and played games until nighttime. The dragon left with the promise he would be back tomorrow to play with his new town full of friends. Wow! What an amazing day that Ezra and Oliver were able to work together with their town to help this very angry dragon feel accepted and have friends, which It sounds like that's what this dragon was looking for all the way in the first place. And now this town can sleep soundly knowing that they're protected by this very big and friendly dragon. The end. Hey friends, I need your help celebrating some birthdays. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Jackson Stone, who's turning 6 years old. Jackson is a rock climber. He sings in our local children's choir and loves dinosaurs, especially Triceratops. Wow, Jackson, I'm so glad we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy 6th birthday. And next up we have... Happy birthday, Malia, who's turning 6 years old. Malia's favorite 3 things in the world are unicorns, mermaids, and the color pink. Oh, and her granny, of course. Wow, Malia, I'm so glad we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy 6th birthday. And next up we have... Happy birthday, Quinn, who's turning 6 years old. Quinn loves swimming, taekwondo, popsicles, and her brother Julian. Holy smokes, I'm so glad we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy 6th birthday, Quinn. Woo, well, I hope you all have a super duper day, and I will see you on our next adventure. Bye!
Hey parents, home is a place to laugh, learn, and play, and a place where everyone should always feel safe. That's why at Kidda, we believe that protecting children from house fires is everyone's cause. Join us in our mission to help families everywhere learn about fire safety so we can help keep children safe at home and ensure lots more laughs in the future. Learn about the importance of smoke alarms and creating your own home fire safety plan by visiting causeforalarm.org.